M's the word, and today's M word is, drumroll, more. So more success, more money, more followers, more house, more holidays, more everything. But here's the question no one really asks. At what point does more start costing you your happiness? We live in a world that tells us we can have it all. And if we're not actively chasing the next thing, we're somehow falling behind. But what if we already have everything that we once prayed for? Oh,
it's a big word.
Let's get into it. So last week, Gemma said to me that you've got everything you've been working for. And my immediate reaction at the time, and still is, was, please don't tell me that, because that actually makes me feel worse. So why? Let's talk about that. So have you ever thought, when I get there, I'll finally feel ... whatever that thing is. So panel, have you ever hit a goal and felt strangely flat?
Every time.
Yeah.
Every time?
Yeah. And then I just move the goalpost. So when I get close to it, I'll move it. So I don't ever hit the goal.
Oh, can you hear the impact of that? I'm
Yes.
silent. Oh, let's unpack that. Gemma, let's unpack that.
Sorry, Joe.
Do you know what? I think it's natural because we have this ability to adapt really well, and that's part of our human makeup. So it's really natural to get somewhere and then adapt to it really quickly, and then forget that was the thing you were striving for, and then move on. But I think that is natural, but it almost takes a conscious effort to go, can you just stop for a minute, smell the roses, and be where you are, and use that gratitude for that as your springboard for the next thing. So it's like this fine line between not staying where you are forever, like definitely wanting to progress, but could you have a minute, and what does that look like? And I say it like I know. I absolutely know this stuff in theory, and I would say I practice it, but I don't always get that right. And I definitely, even buying a house, when we bought our current house, I was never going to move ever again. And now we do still go, and I start looking for more but there's nothing actually that I need more. And so it is a bit of a tightrope.
Yeah, it's really hard.
Have you ever felt like that?
Always, yeah, you know that.
Yeah.
And I think it's something that I try and call you out on sometimes, isn't it? So, and I go, do you remember when this was all we wanted? And here we are now, and let's just breathe. Let's just enjoy it. But I'm a victim of this myself. I do it all the time. A real obvious one to me was when I wanted this log cabin for my old garden, and that was going to be my office and my gym, and it felt like a really important thing I wanted at the time. And when I get that log cabin, I'll be so happy, and I'm going to have this new space. And I got it, and I was like, no, just not bothered.
So you felt flat.
I felt nothing. I just looked at it. I was like, well, that was a lot of fuss over that. it just didn't feel exciting. I feel like there's more excitement in the chase than there is in the prize sometimes.
And they say it's the journey, don't they?
Yeah. But also, if the thing that you're wanting has like depth and an emotion to it, maybe we'd appreciate that more than if it was maybe even just saying the reasons behind you wanting it, maybe they were the things that needed addressing, and then you'd have that feeling.
Yes, I would agree with that massively. I think I always would expect that, The Voice, when I went on The Voice, and I always wanted to be on this. I wanted this moment. It wasn't even specific. It was a singing TV show. Once upon a time, X Factor turned into The Voice. And I think people would expect me to say, and whenever they asked me, that it didn't feel as good. But that is one of the things, as well as having children and then being put on you, that felt even better than I imagined. But that Voice moment felt exactly as I thought it would, and it just lasted. That thrill and joy lasted so long, and it was everything. And I feel like I'm always chasing that feeling again.
Yeah.
And nothing's quite got it.
It's like a dopamine hit though, isn't it?
It's the ultimate dopamine, and I kind of get why celebrity culture, they get so high. Gold medal syndrome is a thing. And it's like, I need to take other things because I need to feel that again. Like, it's intoxicating.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
And then you want it again. And I can imagine if I was a drug taker, which I'm not, that's why celebrity culture and those sort of gold medal syndrome things, it's amazing, but
It's addictive.
it's
I feel it.
addictive, and that is a massive association between high achievers, I'm going to say, not just celebrity culture, and addiction. And I kind of get that. But having done the business deal last year, felt nothing. And
yet
that
you
had a
wanted
bigger
that so
impact
much,
on my
yeah.
life
Yeah.
and my family's life than anything else. And I was chasing, feeling, picked up the phone. It's done. Amazing. I faked it.
Yeah.
Amazing. I'm going to do everything I thought I'd do. Yay. Whoa. And I went to bed and I just was like, I feel nothing.
Yeah. But what would it feel if you hadn't got those things? Because
Mm.
you don't live that life. You live the one that you are. So I suppose.
Just keep chasing. I mean, now I'm chasing again. But
Yeah.
I think it's interesting, isn't it?
It
But do you need to keep chasing, or do you need to find that feeling within normal life?
Yes.
So, because
Yeah.
is success the measure of wealth and, you know, all of these lovely things that you can have, or is success sitting and having a cuddle on the sofa with your family and understanding the health and love that you've got together?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
is that pure success? And actually, I've had to reframe my thinking over the last year, where I was a chaser of, you know, the high and the wealth and all of this, and then it all got whipped away. And now I've made a conscious effort not to do that and sit in the discomfort of not chasing. And it's been really weird. But what I have recognized is now what I have, not what I want or need, you know, I think I need, because truly you don't need it. I didn't need it. I wanted a bigger house than I had. Now I'm in a smaller one, you know, so, but actually my house is happier. It's a home now.
Yeah.
And that is worth more than this, you know, so you have to kind of work that out a little bit.
And I think what you said, it feels really uncomfortable.
It's so uncomfortable because you're used to doing this. You want to level up. Who wants to come back down the staircase when you're halfway up it?
Yeah.
You want to keep going, right? But you just, you ultimately, you'll end up with burnout. You will never be satisfied.
No.
And you'll just be chasing a different high. You know, so, and it might not be work, it might be different kinds of things. You know, like you said, some people turn to drink or drugs or
Just
other
to
things
feel.
to feel something.
Yeah.
But why aren't we just feeling within what we've got?
Yeah.
And you said something really important there, like health. That is the ultimate wealth, right? And we are fortunate enough to currently today be sitting around this table all healthy people, right? The minute you lose any bit of your health, whether it's for a small bit of time or, you know, even worse, for a long bit of time, actually all the other stuff becomes very it pales in
It's
comparison.
irrelevant,
So
irrelevant.
we do have that ability to prioritize, but we're fortunate that, you know, most of the time by default you wake up healthy in our world. And that isn't the case for everyone, and let's pray that it can continue. But that's when you get perspective, isn't it?
Yeah. And my therapist would say, I think I said something to him like, I just want to achieve something extraordinary. I just want it to be extraordinary, everything. And he said, I said, who wants to be ordinary? And he went, ordinary is where the magic is, Sarah.
wow.
And I was like, what? Sorry?
How dare you?
What do you mean? And now, exactly what you just said, I notice when I write in my book, what was my happiest moment today? It's almost always something to do with the kids, something really simple and small. And yet I'm out here chasing something else for 8 hours of that day. And it was that bit in the end of the day that was the high. And I'm like, oh, what do I do with that? You know, because I have kind of two sides, right? But yeah. So
We all do, I think.
We all
Yeah,
do.
I think we do.
So there's something called the arrival fallacy, the idea that when we achieve the next milestone, we'll finally be happy. But humans adapt quickly and the high fades, which is what you were saying, Jem. More often comes at a cost. So have you ever achieved something that cost you more than you expected?
Well, yeah, I think that this is a problem of, I'm going to say, women of today, when we are expected, probably by ourselves, to be everything. So we are, you know, the 50s housewife, the Mrs. Sheen, the mother that can, you know, gentle mother and discipline and do all these things and do it really well. And then we're also striving as career women, and we're meant to be bigger, and we're meant to walk 10,000 steps a day and keep off gluten, keep the sugar low, but live your life in a good balance. And, you know, all the things that in that beautiful Barbie, you know, in the film Barbie, when she does, and we're expected to be all that. So imagine you're managing to do most of that. Whoa, oh, guess what, lady? You got to do more. You got to do more. And I think we've got used to expecting more of ourselves. And I think that's where the cost comes, because someone mentioned burnout, or, you know, you've dropped something, you know, whilst you're striving over here, what's happening over here. So when do we call time on being absolutely incredible, but not having to want to do more of that and more of that? And when do we pick and choose and go, well, no more of that then, or maybe later? And when does that stop becoming like, oh, you're ambitious, or you've got lazy, or you've got settled? Or is it just that you've realised that it's taking too much of you?
Yeah. I think the biggest cost is always time.
Yeah.
Like, that is the biggest cost of anything. If you're going to put your energy into anything.
Yeah.
Is it worth the time? Yeah, like, I think that's the biggest. I don't think I've ever done anything that has cost me something other than time. Like, and the most important thing, obviously, since having kids, is the cost with my children.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now I've got a slightly different, like, view on it, that if I'm going to do something, I know it's going to cost my children's time and my time. So is it worth it? And sometimes it is.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have to learn it isn't. But I probably comfortably sit at the moment in fight or flight. So I'm just surviving in fight or flight. So I don't know what advice I'm really going to give right now, but I'll take the advice. But yeah, I think I'm like in that patter of trying to figure it out and trying to do something that you suggested, Gemma, just making a cup of tea and not doing something, just to live in the moment. It's really hard. So hard. But I think the only times in my life I can really say that the world stood still, and I was in the moment, when I gave birth. And those couple of hours where nothing was happening other than me being with that baby. I've done that obviously twice. I mean, I don't want to keep popping out kids, so I can just, you know, just rest.
Yeah, because that's problematic, because then comes out of other stuff, right?
On average, you're going to definitely get less rest.
Keep doing that. That's only twice.
Yeah, but that's interesting, isn't it? I do think as well about the fight or flight. I was talking to people the other day about the stages of parenting, and I only know this because I went back when you're supposed to keep progressing through the stages, and I do think we are in the fight or flight age for a good few more years.
Oh, absolutely.
In which case I sort of feel like life is a hamster wheel right now for us, whether we're working or mothering. Like, we clock off the 5 p.m. shift, then I'm going to start the 5 till 9 p.m. shift with the kids, and that is fast in a whole other way and stimulating in a whole other way. So I sort of feel like, well, if I'm fight or flight anyway, I might as well try and get more for us all, so that we can enjoy something greater together in a few years. But that's the drive for me, and that's why I always say, this has got to be worth it. Like, with this wheel.
Do you say it like
This has got to be worth it. I've got to succeed, because I'm giving parts of my soul here. And I mean, you've seen me fall apart recently. I'll be quite open here. You know, I have regular therapy, and I have described it as I cannot get parts of myself back. I've given so much to get more. I can't even tell you what this more is right now, because I'm in this space. Hopefully, you know, a year from now we'll do other episodes and I'll be like, wow, I was a hot mess back then, but I learned something. But yeah, I feel like I've lost parts of myself I can't get back. And so there has been sacrifice and cost that I can't quite tell you. I can't put it on this table and say, yeah, it costs me that, or it costs me, but it's cost something.
Yeah, I felt like that. I felt completely like that. And then when I got divorced, it was, well, what was the point of that then?
All that
Because
pain
all
and
that I did, and everything that I sacrificed, and as much drive as I gave, and my whole self for my family, I don't even have that family in the same way anymore. It's gone. You know, so what is the point? And that's why I force myself now to sit in the discomfort of status quo, I guess, and go, we're just going to be here. We're not going to paint. We're not going to decorate. We're not going to do anything. We're just going to be. You know?
Can I tell you, you've never shone more.
Well, what does that tell you then?
Like, if this is your ordinary, to me, you've never been more extraordinary as you are now. Like, every time I see you, I'm like,
But I feel wise now, and I feel grounded, and I feel empowered, and I feel like I'm rested, and I've got energy, and I've got a bit more time. It just feels like all this craziness that I was striving towards all the time for bigger, better, more, it's just gone. So, okay, well, now what are we doing today? And here's a reasonable to-do list, which is still probably double what I can actually feasibly do in a day, but feels more reasonable than the old ones. Let's just work with that. And actually, if this is my to do this week list and I get through it, good, I've done all right, so
and then you can see it in me, and you're like,
I can see it.
Come over to here. It's really good over here.
If you decided, actually, what does more seem right? More joy. So, like, if joy was your compass rather than something that's empty, what is going to bring you joy? And it could still be that this stuff is bringing joy, but at least it's got something substance to it. But I just think, we're focusing here on what is taken. Human nature will mean that if you didn't get it, you'd have another thing to kind of focus on. So it's like, yes, it might have taken something, but you've learnt a lesson and then you've adapted and you've grown. There's always another side to that, what it's taken. What did it give you? Like, what has it offered your family? And I like to think of, are your children healthy and happy on the most part? I know you can't achieve that every day all the time, but, you're doing your best at the end of the day.
Yeah. With what you know at the time.
Absolutely, with the knowledge you have at the time. But joy as your GPS is quite helpful, I think. Yeah. Is it going to bring you joy?
And what is your measure of success?
Yeah.
Is it a multi-million-pound house and nothing else? What if you had the house but you didn't have health? What if you had, your business but you didn't have, I don't know, a good school nearby, or whatever these measures are? Strip it back to
It's
that.
something to ask yourself.
Yeah,
isn't it?
definitely.
And also, there is a cost to doing nothing. Also, there's a cost to everything.
You could say, I'll take away all the things I did because it cost me. Let's rewind time, and you wouldn't be satisfied with that either.
No, because then you might have less money, less holidays. You might be worried about that side of things, where you're going to live. There's a cost to everything. If you choose not to work, if you choose to work. So we have to remember that really as well.
I think you're wired in school almost that success is wealth. You're not wired to say success is happiness or success is joy. You're wired as almost like, right, I've got to go and get the best job, and that's the only thing I can achieve to make myself happy, when actually it's not true.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. And this year I've had an amazing sort of feeling that I've never had before, and I'm 38 now, so it's taken a while. And that was when looking in January, what do I want to achieve this year? What do I want to achieve this year? I haven't got any less ambitious, but I've sort of focused on digging deeper into what's already there.
Yeah.
And I had this beautiful image in my head of like roots of a tree going into the ground, and actually things flourishing from there, rather than suddenly trying to recreate and, reinvent the wheel, I think is the phrase, and start to do. Whereas honestly, I'm always like, what else? Like next thing. And I'm very diverse in the things that I'm into.
Yeah.
And I just feel like this year, for the first time, I've gone, just dig deeper to what's already there. You're okay.
Yeah.
It's a bit
lovely.
weird, but I'm enjoying it.
Sounds like you two have got it now.
Yeah.
We're the problem.
Did you just like...
I mean, if you'd have spoken to me last week, it was a different story. But
The tables will turn. Next year we'll be going.
We'll have it figured out. It's going to be okay. Okay. So we've got Nancy here who says, I've worked so hard to build the life I have, but I don't feel as happy as I thought I would. Does that make me ungrateful? I so feel that. I so understand that feeling. I don't think it makes you ungrateful.
No.
I think you can be grateful and want more.
Yeah, my parents always say that they finally got what they want, but they now realise that the fun bit was the journey to get there and the struggle.
Oh,
and they're like, what is this? We've got everything now, and it's just like,
I've heard that from business owners too, who have gone on to sell for a lot of money for the businesses that they lovingly created from their garage, and they're like, oh, the good bit was in the garage and the real grind, but it doesn't feel like it at the time.
Yeah, I don't think Nancy's ungrateful. I think if she does that, she's just decided to beat herself up a bit when she doesn't need to. But I think she's got an opportunity for perspective. It's like, zoom out, what's working, what isn't. All the things we've just said, really. Like, there's a real opportunity there to go, what is great and working for you that you can feel some gratitude for, and what actually were you striving for that wasn't necessary?
Yeah, and it's okay to accept. I think it's even brave, Nancy, to say, I don't feel as happy as I thought I would. Most people don't. Like, for years, most people will keep the pretense to themselves because it's scarier than to look at it and go, actually, what does that mean about me if I don't feel happy with this situation?
This is the 7 levels of why, isn't it? So you can ask yourself why 7 times to get to the root cause of why you're not happy. So what is it that you thought that you were going to have? You know, well, I thought I was going to have this feeling. Well, why? You know, but, you know, and just keep asking yourself to get to that real bit, because it might be happy with the lifestyle, but not happy with time. Might be, you know, felt that happy with her kids, not happy with her husband. I don't know.
Can we try it?
Things.
Jade, are you brave enough to do this? 7 levels of why
See
with
my head,
us?
just stand up.
Do you want to try?
Sure.
Let's try it.
Go on
do
then.
it.
Okay. So
You're going to do it.
okay.
On the spot.
What? So
Well, the 7 levels of why.
well, you have to have a topic first, of course. So you know, if you're not great, if you don't feel gratitude for where you're at in your life,
Okay, well, you're not where you want to be. You said that, didn't you? You're still striving for more.
Yeah.
I'm not going to put words in your
Why?
mouth. This is you.
Because sorry, this is very unprepared. Why am I not happy? Because there's just more I want to achieve.
why?
Because it'll. Shelley, I want to. All right.
But why?
Because it will give me financial stability and then more time for my kids.
Why?
Because I love my kids. I like them.
This is good. No, this
We'll
is
stop
going
there.
somewhere.
Right? So, but you see how it goes, and you go, and you strip it back and back and back and back. And what it
done
normally
really well.
comes
Thank
down
you.
to is your children. You love your
Yeah.
children.
Yeah.
So, and actually, what it then comes down to a lot of the time is, well, I don't have as much time with my children
Yeah.
as I wanted. You know, so it becomes about, it starts with, I don't feel grateful, ends with, I want more time with my children. And actually, why not?
Actionable.
Yeah, why not flip that and go, well, do you know what? I'm going to take off 3 hours a week and take the kids to the farm once a week. And that'll just
As you
feed
said
your
that, though,
soul.
Yeah.
It's interesting though. It is human nature, because I remember growing up, and I've witnessed it with my dad and even my husband now, with cars. Like, they're both really into cars, and they'll spend hours like viewing cars, and they're almost enjoying that. They buy the car. They don't want the car. They want to sell it in a day.
Yeah.
And then but they like looking. So
just
it's a
wanna-
simple.
The
like,
more the thrill of the
catch the
chase.
rabbit,
Yeah,
catch
yeah.
the rabbit.
But,
Yeah.
you know, that car's that's all they're obsessing over for that time. And then they just don't. Once it's got this like, gonna clean it, sell it.
So, Nancy, we would love to hear from you if that why line of questioning gets anywhere. And then, like Shelley said, what can you do about that when you reach the end result? I'm scared to do it. I'm going to do it off camera.
Thanks
we,
for that. Yeah.
Sorry. We would love to hear more from our community, because we want this to be a conversation with more women than us. So use the comments, use the community. We can't wait to see you next time, where we'll be talking about modifications. Join us then.